I'm Jason with the All Things Open team. I'm here with Dr. Ruth. We're going to talk about AI, productivity, and a bunch of other topics. Dr. Ruth, will you please introduce yourself to the All Things Open community?
Hi, All Things Open community. My name is Dr. Ruth Akintunde, and I am a Christian. I'm the mom of 3 beautiful daughters. I am married to a cloud engineer, Tolu, my lovely husband. I work for SAS. I'm currently leading their generative AI team for their data management division. I graduated with a PhD, a computer science PhD from North Carolina State University in 2021, and I love to code and I love artificial intelligence.
Right. Cool. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited. I understand you're passionate about artificial intelligence, but the kind that has a positive impact on humans and society. What type of advancements are you seeing with AI in that regards?
Yeah, as you said, I am passionate about AI, leveraging AI for early disease prediction from medical records. It could be detecting of suspicious activities for security, using computer vision. And it could also be identifying emotional stress for health as well. And I'm even looking at exploring the power of AI to assess spiritual well-being, which is one new idea that I just had in recent times. So we've seen a lot of advancements, GPT models, and we've seen computer vision, object recognition. Before my PhD, I used to be fascinated with computer vision. I used to be fascinated with face recognition. That's one of the things that motivated me to pursue my PhD. Although I ended up leveraging artificial intelligence for computer games and improving educational games. We have seen all this GPT advancements. It just tells us that AI is in its early stages and its vast potential is yet to be explored. I'm thinking around health, security, as I've said before, emotional well-being. For health, we could deploy natural language models going into health record, electronic health records, doctor's notes, to just analyze the data to check for patterns of diseases like diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular conditions. And all this would help improve lives in meaningful ways when these models can predict. When you get everything into text, there's nothing you cannot do with GPT models. I talked about computer vision for security. When you get these CCTV footages and you get to translate what they're saying into text, and you plug in GPT models to analyze this text, it can ensure intelligence from these footages. Then we are going into an area of agentic AI, where agents can make decisions. So envision a scenario where you have text from CCTV footages submitted to an LLM model. The LLM model is analyzing this text and seeing suspicious activities, and then sending function calls to the CCTV camera to point into or zoom in on a different direction, right? So when you impute or infuse the advancements like GPT models into all these other areas like IoT, medical, and healthcare, you would see a vast improvement. And I'm excited about that. The fact that you can use AI as a tool to engender great breakthroughs and innovation, that fascinates me a lot.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. And I think that's really kind of where AI should be helping humans, right? It's really great to see that potential for the future. What are some of the current limitations in making some of those advancements?
This is a good question. All these beautiful dreams, they can actually come true because we've seen GPT come true. I love GPT. I used to love computer vision. That's why I thought computer vision, now GPT. All this just show that we are still in the inception and there are greater things ahead of us. But in order to achieve all this, we need resources like big data, deep learning architectures, infrastructures to become more powerful. And then we also need to ensure that we are doing all this in an ethical way, right? I talked about IoT, I talked about analyzing electronic health records. We would face limitations such as privacy, data security, and bias. So if we can put strategies in place to ensure that all these things are done and AI is being used in an ethical way, then it's going to be a win-win for everybody.
I think that's great. What's your advice to someone who's just getting started with artificial intelligence? Like if they're not even a technologist, what would you suggest?
This is a good question as well. I would like to talk about what worked for me, and let's start from there. My first AI project was back in 2015. I created a linear regression model to predict how much of a customer's invoice will they pay up within 6 months. Right. So while working on this problem, I was really fascinated, and it got me into researching how to solve it. So for somebody that is just starting learning or want to know more about artificial intelligence, what is the data problem you are trying to solve? So when I identified that data problem I was trying to solve, I started doing research, and now we have GPT that can tell you what to do from start to finish. You can just put in the question to a GPT model or a chat GPT and ask, how do I go about solving this problem? So for me, I didn't have GPT, I had Google. And so I took recommended courses on Coursera. My first data science course was the Data Scientist Toolbox. And it had a capstone project, creating a data product, and the data product was an Ngram-based model for next word prediction. Yeah, so that was what got me excited, right? I completed the course from start to finish. I learned the R programming language, so identifying the problem you're trying to work on, seeing the courses that can help you solve it, is the first steps. You could also take it a level higher, because I wanted to do computer vision and get a degree in data science or artificial intelligence. And that will teach you the mathematics behind the data science, the mathematics behind AI, and help you be more confident when choosing what machine learning or AI algorithms to use to solving your problems, and then build a portfolio. So when you have projects that you have worked on, you can add that to your resume and gives you more confidence that you an AI expert.
That's so cool. I think that's a really good framework, and I think you've shared with our audience a good plan of attack that they can use to get involved. So there's a lot of discussion about AI's role in development. Do you think AI is going to replace developers one day?
You are the third person asking me this question, and I think not just the third person. So many people have asked me this question. I do not believe that AI will replace developers. However, it could transform the role significantly. Software developers would need to learn how to adapt and infuse AI models in their applications. And this could even lead to a new generation of software development. This evolution could redefine the software developer title to something like AI integrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, an AI integrator, as more of AI capabilities and expertise are needed when the need arises in app development. And so I feel like generative AI is just helping us solve new challenges, and it could push the boundaries of what's possible.
Well, listeners, you've heard it from Dr. Ruth. AI is going to change the world, and AI is going to have new job titles. That's the most exciting part. Do you have any new tools you've been using to boost your productivity lately?
I will not discount the effect of note-taking applications. So like many others, I use to-do lists a lot, and it helps me push through my day. However, when I get to a point where no level of organization or planning or structure can help me push through, there's this one app that resets my mind and restores my peace, and it's the Bible app. Reading scriptures, connecting with God just gives me clarity and keeps me grounded.
Sounds great. Thanks for sharing. Last question for you. What's one tip, best practice, or piece of advice you have to share with the All Things Open community?
You all are doing a great job, honestly. Every post, every commit to an open source GitHub project goes a long way, and makes a difference. You might not realize how much you're helping people, but you're helping people in unique ways. So I just want to say to the open source community, don't stop innovating, don't stop learning and sharing your knowledge.
Great. That's great advice. Thanks for your time today, Dr. Ruth. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason.